Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Brooklyn Technical High School Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. We are really excited you're here. Before we get started, we do have a few housekeeping items to note. First, if you have any questions at all, feel free to use the Q&A button to type in your questions to the presenters at any time. They are here, ready and available to answer your questions. Your camera and microphone are off. You are muted and your video is off. The panelists can't see or hear you. There are more sessions happening. This is one of many college presentations being offered, so feel free to sign up for more at the same place where you registered for this one. And lastly, this session is being recorded like all sessions and will be available at strivescan.com/Brooklyn Tech. We are currently in session C2, where my mouse is circling at the moment. And this is also the same order presentations. So without further ado, I'll get out of the way and introduce our first representative from United States Naval Academy.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having us here today. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. My name is Lieutenant Joyce Kim. I'm an admissions counselor at the United States Naval Academy. Quick background about myself. I was born and raised in New York City. I'm a product of the New York City public high school system as well. Straight out of high school, I had the opportunity to attend the Naval Academy. I graduated back in 2014 and commissioned as a surface warfare officer, meaning my primary job is driving ships. Currently, I serve as an admissions counselor, so my role is not driving ships. I'm here to talk to you guys about our institution, and should you decide to apply to the Naval Academy, I will be your primary point of contact as I am in charge of all the candidates in the New York and New Jersey states. Now, I know we have a limited amount of time, so I just want to get straight into the presentation and give you a brief idea about the United States Naval Academy. So who are we? We're one of the 5 federal service academies, meaning we are a military college for the Navy and the Marine Corps. So keyword college, right? When you go to college, you study a major, you enjoy your campus life. Will you have all of that even at a military college? Absolutely. We are located in Annapolis, Maryland, approximately 4 hours south from New York City. On this slide, you'll see a campus drone shot right by the waters next to the Severn River. We're one of the sailing capitals in the world as well. We call our campus the Yard. And on our yard, we have all these services, facilities that are available to our students free of charge. These are located on the left-hand side of the slide. You'll see the barbershop. Guys, when you are at our institution, you will need to keep your hair in military regulations, which will require a haircut. We have a barbershop on base where you can get a fresh haircut on your way to class or after class. We also have laundry. So if you don't want to do your laundry, your dirty laundry during your 4 years at the academy, guess what? You don't need to. You can put your dirty laundry in a bag, put it outside your door. Someone will come and pick it up and drop it off for you the next time. We also have a Navy hospital, dental, optometry as well to make sure all of your medical concerns are taken care of. In addition, especially in this day and age, mental health is just as important. So we have therapists, nutritionists, psychologists on standby to assist our student body, which we call the Brigade of Midshipmen. So on the right-hand side of this slide, you'll see a snapshot of our student body. We have approximately a little over 4,500 students from every state, territory, and a few foreign countries. On this slide, you'll also see the male to female ratio breakdown. Currently, we have about 28% females. Now, for all the females in this room, you may think, oh, wow, that's not a lot, right? When I was attending the academy about 7 years ago, we had about 20% females. So in a very short time span, we were able to increase this number by 8%. In fact, our current freshman class has about 35% females. So we're slowly making our way up to make it 50-50 one day. Okay, just to give you a broad overview about the Naval Academy, we just want to take a look at the numbers, right? Just to throw out a couple statistics out there, we are the #1 public college in the nation, as well as having the #5 undergraduate engineering program. Okay. Taking a look at a little more statistics, we have an 8-to-1 student to faculty ratio. Our average classroom size is from 10 to 25 students. So the transition from high school to college is much smoother. None of our classes are ever held in huge lecture halls, so you really get that one-on-one interaction with your professors. We have a 90% graduation rate. Okay, which means that once you get admitted to our institution, we will work with you to make sure that you graduate at the end of 4 years. $0 4-year tuition cost, and you're hearing it correctly, you're seeing it correctly on the screen. Every one of our students receives a full scholarship, which includes tuition, which includes room and boarding, which also includes medical and dental health insurance. So all of this is included as part of your scholarship. In fact, you even get paid to go to school. You get a monthly stipend of a little over $1,100 every month. Okay. On top of getting a full scholarship, you also get 100, or every one of our students has a guaranteed job lined up for them upon graduation, which is to serve as a Navy or Marine Corps officer for a minimum of 5 years. And last but not least, I mentioned, we're a military college. You're going to study a major, you're going to pick a major and study it. We offer 25 different academic majors, primarily in the science, technology, engineering, and math fields, but we do also offer a few majors in the humanities and social sciences. We're strapped on time, so I just want to share my contact information as well. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to utilize the chat function. I'll be more than happy to answer your question. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. The next representative is from Princeton University.
I'm getting there. Good evening, everyone. My name is David Lee. I am an associate dean in the admission office at Princeton University. I'm excited to present our university to you tonight. I'm also delighted to also introduce my colleague, Angela Wong, who is answering questions in the background in the Q&A function that you are welcome to ask questions while we are presenting tonight's presentation. So, Princeton University, we are located in Princeton, New Jersey, which is in central New Jersey. Princeton, New Jersey is a residential community with a thriving downtown of 30,000 residents. While we are in a suburban setting, we're never far from your neighboring city, from New York City itself. There is a train station on our campus, and we are about a 90-minute train ride from both New York City and Philadelphia. Our campus features 200 different buildings on 600 acres of land, and it is a very pedestrian-friendly area. The Princeton, oh, sorry, you can see my script. Sorry about that. So there we go, that's much better. So our campus features 200 buildings. Princeton is focused on the undergraduate experience. And so we have 5,300 undergraduate students and 2,900 graduate students at Princeton. And this particular ratio is very unique, we feel, when it comes to an undergraduate and graduate student ratio. And we really do feel that that is one of the areas that distinguishes what your academic experience can be at our school. 75% of your classes at Princeton will have fewer than 20 students, and the student faculty ratio is 5-to-1, and you will receive individual attention from our faculty. Princeton's unique academic structure ensures that students' education is grounded in the liberal arts. So we want to make sure that you have an ample opportunity to have a well-rounded experience and that you will be able to work very closely with your faculty. At Princeton, we have 37 concentrations and 55 certificates. Our concentration is what we call our majors, and certificates are what we call our minors. We have 2 degree types at Princeton. 75% of students at Princeton will pursue the Bachelor of Arts degree, which we in fact call the AB degree. And the other 25% of students will pursue the Bachelor of Science and Engineering degree, which we call the BSE degree. At Princeton, every student is required to complete a senior thesis, which is a culminating project before they graduate. The senior thesis is a large-scale work of original research that marks your transition from being a consumer of knowledge to then now becoming a contributor of knowledge. Every student is guided through the senior thesis process by a faculty mentor. Another hallmark of the Princeton experience is the residential experience. And we at Princeton have something called residential colleges. When you are a first-year student at Princeton, you're going to be assigned to live in a residential college. And a residential college is simply a collection of dorms, dining halls, and advising offices. We consider the residential experience to be a transformative and educational way for you to be able to complement your academic experience at the university. 96% of students at Princeton live on campus. Housing is guaranteed for all 4 years, and your residential college is the first community you'll be part of upon enrolling at the university. We have well over 300 different clubs and organizations that you can be a part of, plus 37 different varsity sports that are all competing at the Division I level, along with club and intramural sports. We have 17 different religious chaplaincies, a lot of different opportunities for you to be able to pursue your passions or find new activities. Princeton is committed to creating a vibrant and diverse student community. Our student body consists of students from all 50 states and more than 100 different countries. 45% of our students self-identify as being a student of color, and 16% of our student body are first members in their family to be attending college. So they are first generation. When you join the Princeton community, you are entering in a lifelong relationship with the university. And if you couldn't tell, you also have a lifelong relationship with the color orange. Our students find great success after finishing their 4 years at Princeton. Within 6 months of graduation, 75% of our graduates are employed and 19% are going off to graduate school. We have an 85 to 90% acceptance rate of students getting into medical school, and our graduation rate at Princeton is 97%, which is well above the national average. Princeton was the first university in the country to institute a no-loan financial aid policy. We are the most generous of any institution in the United States and will meet 100% of your family's demonstrated financial need by awarding only grant money, no loans. 82% of our students will graduate debt-free. Our financial aid is a need-based program, and so that means that we give you aid based upon your family's ability to pay. We do not offer merit scholarships, and we do not offer or award athletic scholarships. Roughly 60% of Princeton students receive financial aid. The average financial aid package last year was approximately $56,000. Princeton practices holistic admissions. There are no quotas and no cutoffs, and there are no minimum grades, rank, or test scores in order to have your application reviewed. We are always looking for reasons to admit you as a student. And lastly, I just want to let you know we accept the common or coalition application. Because of the COVID pandemic, we are also pausing on our standardized testing requirements. So testing is not required, nor have we not required SAT subject tests. And lastly, we offer regular decision or early action single choice. Early action single choice deadline is November 1st, and then the regular decision deadline to apply to Princeton is January 1st. I know that was a lot of information to share with you in a little bit of time, but thank you so much for your time, and we are happy to answer any questions that you have, and thank you very much for your time tonight.
Very helpful information. Thank you. Just a friendly reminder that if you have any questions at all, to please feel free to submit those through the Q&A. Our representatives are here and available to answer any questions you have. And if you have a specific question, to also note the school name. The next representative is from Suffolk University.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brian Denzak. I'm one of the admission counselors at Suffolk University. For those who aren't familiar with us, we are located in the heart of downtown Boston. And I usually like to describe Suffolk as a great school for a student who knows that they want to be in a city environment. They really like being in a city like Boston, but they also don't want to go to school or be in a class with like a 300-seat person lecture hall. Suffolk is really kind of the best of both worlds in that sense. It's a nice contrast. Students are able to go out and experience all that Boston has to offer them, while being able to come back to the Suffolk community, recharge their batteries a bit, and then go back out into Boston. And no matter what you study at Suffolk, you're going to be interacting with the city of Boston in some way. So whether you're a business student, you're conducting market research for a local business, or you're a graphic design student working with a client, or you're a political science or law student working at the local state house, or a state representative's office, what have you. There's so many different ways you're going to be interacting with the city of Boston as a Suffolk student. So going into academics, we have two schools, the College of Art and Sciences and the Sawyer Business School. So in terms of the programs that we offer, we have a nice variety of different disciplines, everything within the business realm, so finance, accounting, marketing, for example. We've got law, we've got political science. We have stuff in the sciences like physics, chemistry, biology. We have film production, theater, what have you, just really a wide variety of different programs, stuff within the arts, graphic design, interior design, a BA in studio art. And so again, average class size is 21 with a student faculty ratio of 15:1. And then there's kind of like life outside the classroom. We have 120 different clubs and student organizations on campus. What's really cool to note about those is that while there's a faculty member who is assigned to each club, it's really the students who are responsible for running the day-to-day operations of those clubs and making them so successful. We've got some great leadership programs as well, such as our Journey Leadership Program, which takes students on team building experiences, not just around Boston, but places like Washington, DC, Florida, the Barbados. And then we also do have NCAA Division III athletic teams. So any students interested in pursuing a sport in college, we have those as well. We have our athletic facility in East Boston, as well as our Ridgeway Gymnasium just around the corner from our downtown location. And then one kind of big kind of part about Suffolk is that we do really encourage the study abroad experience. We want students to, if they are remotely interested in studying abroad, we want them to have an opportunity to do so. So there are plenty of different ways you can incorporate the study abroad experience into your Suffolk experience, if that is something that you're interested in doing. Say a typical semester doesn't fit into your schedule, you can travel abroad for a summer, you could do a travel seminar, or you could do more than that typical semester. Again, it really depends on what you're potentially interested in and what would fit in your schedule. Probably the most unique study abroad experience that we have is our very own Suffolk University in Madrid. So this is, like I said, Suffolk University right in Madrid, Spain. You can study here for up to 2 years, with the exception of our international relations students. You can study all 4 years there if they would like. And students can actually start their time at our Madrid campus and then transfer to Boston later on if that's something that they're interested in doing. All the classes are taught in English, but students do take Spanish classes and have the ability to travel and really immerse themselves within the Spanish culture and make the most of their time while they're there. And then when it comes to application tips and financial aid, you are able to apply directly through the Common App. We also have our own Suffolk University application as well, which you can find right on our website. So we really do like to do the holistic approach when we review applications. So we really look at everything that's submitted to us. So your transcript, your essay, your recommendation letter. We are test optional, so you do not have to submit an SAT or ACT score if you do not wish to. It's really what you feel is the best reflection of who you are as a student. So if you want to send us an SAT or ACT score, you totally can. But if you don't have to. Again, it's what you feel is the best reflection of who you are as a student. It won't hurt you either way. If you are interested in one of our art design programs, or our interior design, our graphic design, or our BA in studio art, there is a portfolio requirement for that major as well. You can find out those exact requirements right on our website, but you do just have to submit that as well when you send in your initial application materials. And then also, we do have an honors college as well, and an honors program, and that review happens during this initial review process. There is no separate application that you have to fill out for being considered for the honors program. And then lastly, just to finish with financial aid, so all students are considered for merit based aid or merit scholarships. There is no separate application to be considered for that merit-based aid. Just by submitting an application to Suffolk University, you will be considered for that aid. And then the FAFSA form is required for all need-based consideration. One thing I do like to say for any student who has really specific questions about the financial aid process, just as every counselor, every student has an admissions counselor at Suffolk. Every student also has a financial aid counselor as well. You can find out who that person is directly on our website. So I definitely recommend reaching out to that person if you have any questions, because they are a great resource for students. So with that, that's all the time I have right now. So if there are any questions, please do submit them through that Q&A function, and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. The next representative is from Copper Union.
Hi, Brooklyn Tech. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We always have such fabulous applicants from Brooklyn Tech. So I'm Hilary Fernandez. I'm here with the Cooper Union for the Advancement of Science and Art. My contact information is there. Please note Fernandez with an S, not a Z at the end. So Cooper Union was founded in 1859 by Peter Cooper, who believed that all education should be free and available to anybody who wanted to achieve an education. So we honor that tradition today. And my slides are frozen. There we go. Our campus is in the East Village in New York City. So right in the heart of the East Village, which is actually where the building in the center used to be the tallest building. So for a long, long time, that was the highest building you would see and probably one of the more modern. Now we've eclipsed it with our engineering building, which is the very modern building you see there. The tallest building in the picture is our residence hall. We only have housing for freshman students. Beyond that, we really encourage you to explore the wider New York City offerings and help you find and secure housing in the New York City area. So the Great Hall is where we've launched the suffragette movement. Abraham Lincoln gave a presidential address, a pre-presidential address that launched his presidential career, and the late, great John Lewis spoke in our Great Hall, launching a lot of civil rights movements. So we are very focused on mission at Cooper and advancing humanity through 3 program areas: architecture, art, and engineering. And those are the only areas that we offer degrees in. We do offer minors in the humanities and in mathematics and in computer science and newly in bioengineering. And we are very, very small. So consider the exact opposite of what you're experiencing at Brooklyn Tech, and that's pretty much Cooper. We have under 1,000 students total across all of our years of study, including our graduate programs. So we have an 8-to-1 student to faculty ratio. I think you're hearing that a lot. You'll never have a class with more than 30 students because we don't have a space that would accommodate more than 30 students. And we really look for people who are passionate, committed, and going to be collaborative in the classroom, because great ideas happen through collaboration, whether it's cross-discipline, working with artists and architecture students if you're in the engineering program, or working across disciplines within engineering and really learning from one another and taking those different ideas forward in your own work. Very powerful alumni network that's also very active in offering internships to students. So within our engineering school, we have 5 majors. There are the 4 that are ABET accredited degrees, which would allow you to then practice in that particular area of engineering. Those are chemical, civil, electrical, and mechanical. 5th is our general engineering degree, which would offer you a Bachelor of Science in Engineering and allow you to use an engineer's problem-solving mindset and apply it to a field like law or medicine. But it is not an undecided degree program. So just really important to keep that in mind. The coursework at Cooper is project-based and really focused on interdisciplinary connections, as I've mentioned, but you do declare which major you wish to enter into in your freshman year. We ask you to do that in advance when you submit your application so that we can have faculty weigh in on what they like about your application as well. Research opportunities are abundant starting the day you walk on campus. If there's somebody who's doing research already in a field that you are excited about, talk to them and they'll bring you on. And if they are not yet doing research, pitch it to them. And we also offer an integrated 4-year bachelor's and master's degree for our Super Cooper students who accomplish both of those degrees in 4 years. Shifting now to the Erwin Channon School of Architecture. This is a 5-year professional Bachelor of Architecture degree. It's a NAB accredited program, and the classes take place in a big design studio with the idea that you learn much more by watching the work of people around you after you have a foundation in structures and in buildings and in what appeals to urban planners and what the needs of society are going to be moving forward. You're going to find that there are 25 to 30 students per class and 3 faculty per design studio. And we do have a design-based curriculum. We also have a pretty interesting application process for our School of Architecture and School of Art. They're pretty detailed, so I would highly recommend that you attend one of our virtual information sessions to learn more about those, should those be the program areas you're interested in. For the School of Art, we offer a Bachelor of Fine Arts. It's an integrated program, meaning that we do not have majors. Instead, you take coursework in all of the disciplines, whether it be photography, film, sculpture, drawing, graphic design. You're going to find that we admit 65 freshmen each year and between 5 to 10 transfers, which obviously equates to a very small class size. Studio space is given to every student after their foundation year, which is the freshman year, and that is yours to utilize through your remaining years on campus. And we're really looking to foster critical thinking through this program. Wow, I've got to move forward. All right, student life, talked about the residence hall. Study abroad is in the summer, over 80 clubs, really robust life after Cooper with a 95% job placement rate. We're on the common application, will be test optional for 2022. Make sure you take calculus, physics, and chemistry if you're applying to engineering. Financial aid, half tuition scholarship for $22,275 for every admitted student. And join us for more information. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cooper Union. Just another friendly reminder that if you have any questions at all, to feel free to submit those through the Q&A. Any question at all about the college application process or for a specific school, to also note the school name. It is highly encouraged. Our last representative, but certainly not least, is from the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities.
Thank you so much, Catherine. Hello, everyone. My name is Alyssa Child. I am the East Coast representative for the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. So if I am your counselor, I will be your point person going forward with any application questions you may have. At the University of Minnesota, we like to say that we are UMM proud. We are the flagship university for the state of Minnesota, and we are a large public tier 1 research institution located right in the heart of the Twin Cities, which is Minneapolis and St. Paul. We have over 150 majors and 135 minors, and these majors and minors are spread across 8 freshman admitting colleges. These 8 freshman admitting colleges range from our College of Science and Engineering, College of Biological Sciences, College of Design, College of Liberal Arts, our College of Food, Agriculture, and Natural Resource Sciences, our College of Education and Human Development, and our Carlson School of Management, and our smallest freshman admitting college, which is our School of Nursing. We have graduate and professional programs as well, including a medical school, a veterinary school, and a business school. We are a land grant Research 1 institution. What that means is there is a lot of money available to our students to go towards research, and that is across all different majors. You don't have to be just in a STEM related major to be able to conduct research. There are research opportunities across all majors. Even though we are a large university of about 30,000 undergraduate students, we pride ourselves on the fact that 80% of our classes have less than 50 students in them, and our student to faculty ratio is about 17:1. In addition to that, we do have a 13 credit policy. So when you register as a full-time student, you're usually taking about 15 credits, but our tuition, the price is built for 13 credits, and you will not get charged for taking more than that. So if you want to add a double major, add a minor or 2 minors, and you're taking 18 credits, you can definitely do that and your tuition will not go up. On top of our amazing academics, we have over 900 student groups on campus for our students to get involved in. All of those student groups range from, major related to community service, to political, to, intramural sports, dance, anything that you might find fun. One of our most popular ones is our PB and Jam Club, which is literally just for students who like to eat sandwiches and listen to music. So there are really great opportunities for all of our students to connect with other students on campus. We are part of the Big Ten, so there's a lot of tradition and pride. Goldie Gopher is our mascot. He is probably the cutest mascot in my opinion. But yeah, he's also won the mascot tournament with the Big Ten the past few years. We also have 12 cultural centers on campus, more than 200 student groups. We also have a really comprehensive study abroad program with over 200 opportunities in 60 countries. And even this year with the pandemic, we were able to connect students virtually with their internships and other schools across the world. We also have 35 plus living learning communities. Each individual college has their own living learning community. And we also have one called At Home in Minnesota, which is for students from out of state. And it's a great way to get connected with other students from out of state, whether it be California, Texas, or somewhere else, Maine, anywhere that's not maybe New York. And you get to connect with those students because you all have that common bond of being in a new place. Our location. So we are, like I said before, we are located in the heart of the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul. Very lively surrounding community. We have Dinkytown and Stadium Village, which are 2 smaller areas right outside of campus with a lot of great restaurants and small mom and pop shops. But on top of that, we are in the capital of the state of Minnesota. So you have 16 Fortune 500 companies available to you for internships, such as Target, Best Buy, 3M. The Mayo Clinic is also located in Minnesota if you're interested in any medical majors. We are 500,000 strong within our UMMN alumni network as well. So once a Gopher, always a Gopher. And our location provides a lot of professional sports, arts, music, culture, all within a short train ride away from each other. That picture that's in the bottom left-hand corner is actually taken right from our campus. So you can see downtown while experiencing, that top left picture of that traditional big college. For admission for fall of 2022, we are not requiring ACT or SAT. I do not know any beyond fall of 2022 if we will be requiring a test, but for next year, we will not be. All you need for a complete application is our Common App or a Golden Gopher app, $55 application fee, your self-reported academic record, and your test scores if you so choose to submit them. We don't require letters of recommendation or essays, but I highly encourage you to submit them as, it's a great way for me to get to know you better as an applicant. We have 3 different deadlines, 2 early action. One is November 1st, the other is December 1st, and our regular deadline is January 1st. If you are interested in nursing, you must apply by November 1st, and that is because there are 2 supplemental essays that you have to fill out. So if you're interested in nursing, make sure you take note that. So I just want to thank you again for joining me. My email is right there, achild@umn.edu. And I encourage you to check out our visit website where you can check out all of our virtual visit options. Thank you so much.
Awesome, thank you. All great advice shared by all our representatives. Again, thank you so much. And we do have some time left, so we're going to go ahead at this point and pivot into our Q&A portion of this session. I'll ask if all our representatives could please turn on their cameras to go ahead and get ready to unmute themselves. And we'll jump into our first question here, which is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? Again, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll go ahead and get started in the same order in which you all presented it.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Again, it's Lieutenant Kim with the Naval Academy. So my advice to those who are in the college search process is to really ask yourself what you want to get out of the college experience, right? Whether it's a big community, a large school that you want to attend to, or whether it's a much smaller community that you want to get into. What do you want to study? How far from New York City do you want to leave? Or do you want to stay relatively closely? Depending on what kind of experience that you want to get out of college, that will help narrow your preferences. And then once you narrow your preferences, research, right? All of you guys are already on the right path of attending your school's virtual college fair, getting more information about different institutions. I didn't know about the Naval Academy until I attended my college fair at my high school. So definitely go out there, see, aside from the college fairs that your high school is hosting, take a look and see what other colleges that you're interested are hosting, because a lot of them are also hosting virtual informations as well as campus visits, pending COVID restrictions.
Sorry about that. Is it my turn?
It is.
Okay, perfect timing. Thank you. David Lee from Princeton University again. So to answer the question about what advice about the college app search process, let's just dive right into the college essay in terms of just thinking about preparing yourself when you are working on this, the applications to these colleges. You're going to want to be prepared to perhaps write an essay, maybe perhaps multiple essays. And you heard from some of these colleges, you might have a few extra essays that you might need to do. And so start becoming comfortable with expressing and talking about yourself or thinking about yourself. What is it that you want to be able to share? And very similar to a little bit of what Lieutenant Kim was sharing, it's like, what do you feel comfortable about each of these colleges and how did they add well to your personality? And so when you work on these essays, you want to ask yourself, why do I want to be at that college and how will I be a great contributor to that school? And that's going to be my short response to how we go through that, how to go through the college search process.
So this is Brian Denzak from Suffolk University. So I would say my biggest piece of advice is to make sure that you interact with as many people as possible at any of the universities that you're interested in or you're looking at. So obviously talk to people in admissions, but also talk to as many current students as possible, talk to professors in the division or the department that you're interested in, talk to any staff member, just really talk to as many people as possible so you can get a really good sense of the community of that school, because you want to make sure that the community of that university is somewhere where you can see yourself. So I really think it's important to make sure that you're talking to and you're interacting with as many people as possible. So I think that would be my biggest piece of advice.
Hillary Fernandez from the Cooper Union, and I absolutely echo that. I think it's so critical. And beyond that, I would say really know yourself. Start paying attention in these next 2 years to what classes you really like and which ones you dread and why. So when I applied to college, I thought I wanted to be a psychology major. I was gung-ho about psychology. I got to college, I took 2 psychology classes. I couldn't run out of there faster than I really hated it. And it wasn't what I expected, and that's absolutely fine. But you have to spend time thinking, this is the next 4 years of your life, and how do you want that time to be invested? And then thinking beyond that, and that can be very daunting. It's a hard thing to know that as a high school student. It's a hard thing to know that as an adult a lot of the times. So be okay with that and just spend a lot of time evaluating what really resonates for you in high school and what you're most excited about for the years beyond, and then follow that.
Alyssa Child from the University of Minnesota. I will echo everything everyone said. And on top of that, also just like take your time and really utilize the fact that if you're interested in going out of state, and I'm not just saying this as an out of state college, but we all have so many great virtual options right now because our campuses were closed to you visiting. Take advantage of that as much as you can, because it's a great way to explore out of state without having to get on a plane or visit campus. And that being said, if our virtual options do spark your interest, then you can plan a trip out to wherever it is that you're looking. So take your time, utilize those virtual visit options, and utilize the admissions websites as well.
Awesome. Thank you all for that great advice. It's always so helpful hearing directly from those who work at the respective institutions to offer feedback, suggestions, and again, advice. We do have time for one more, and so we'll try to squeeze this one in here before we run out of time. And that question is, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus? Again, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus?
Lieutenant Kim here again from the Naval Academy. So for me and most students at our institution, we would have to say hands down Army Navy Week. And what is that? So every year, us Navy versus West Point's Army football team. Our teams play every year in Philadelphia, but the game in itself, it's exhilarating, it's fun, but it's the week leading up to this football game that is exhilarating. And it's the chance for the freshmen to get back at their upperclassmen, right? The entire semester, they may have been, put out for physical training, or, there's military training involved during your student life at the Naval Academy, but it's your turn to, play a prank on them. I know some students have brought in a 60-foot sailboat into our cafeteria. I don't know how they did it, but it was there when we were there for breakfast. So it happened. So that's probably one of the greatest traditions at the Naval Academy, where you get a chance to get back at your upperclassmen.
And a tradition at Princeton that is probably one of the most fun things that I think many of our alumni experience is what we call reunions. We don't have it just a one reunion. We have multiple reunions. We have about 25,000 alumni that return to campus every single May to celebrate not only their anniversary of graduating from Princeton, but then also to celebrate the graduating class that will be graduating that year. So the town nearly doubles in size because of the reunions program every year. A lot of fun. And again, orange and black all over the place. And you're going to see all kinds of interesting fashion that come in the colors of orange and black during Princeton reunions. Thank you, everybody.
I think one of my favorite Suffolk traditions is the freshman year boat cruise. It's one of the first activities you do as a freshman class. You get to sail around Boston Harbor at night. Boston's all lit up. It's nice and beautiful. And then you actually do a similar one your senior year. So it's just kind of a nice bookend of your Suffolk experience.
Mine would have to be midnight breakfast, which happens before finals. And the alumni come back and cook breakfast for all of the students who are busy studying for finals. And it happens at midnight. And you can really dig into their experiences with a lot of the same professors and find out tips and tricks that you might need to know for the final that you're about to embark on.
That sounds so nice. I would love someone to cook me breakfast at midnight. For the University of Minnesota, our freshman welcome week is probably my favorite tradition. Our students, the freshmen, get to move in a week before everybody else, and we host you guys all in TCF Bank Stadium, where you get to meet Goldie and the marching band, and you get to learn all the chants and everything that you get to, experience at all of our sporting events. And on top of that, during freshman welcome week, the Minnesota State Fair is still going on, which is definitely a Minnesota staple that everyone should experience at least once in their life. Thank you.
That was rapid fire. Thank you so much to our representatives for getting everyone in there. Thank you for just the information being shared and just being here again, sharing your insight. It's always truly helpful. And so we appreciate, again, all the great information and getting all of those Q&A questions in there as well too. So thank you. And thank you to each of you for joining us. We have reached the conclusion of this session, but as we close, will be a very quick 4-question survey that will appear on your browser. If you don't mind taking a moment to fill that out for us, your feedback is greatly appreciated. There are more college presentations like this one being offered, so feel free to sign up for more at the same place where you registered for this one. And lastly, all sessions are being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Brooklyn Tech. Again, thank you all and have a great night.